Today I want to talk about a really crucial topic, and it's a topic about why and motivation. In my opinion, this is a very overlooked topic. I can tell you that. I've coached a lot of people, and when we talk about motivation and why, it's not really well defined. So today I really want to emphasize on this huge, important topic. Um, Meanwhile, I want you to think for yourself your main purpose of why are you trading? So why are you basically spending so much time, energy, efforts for trading? I mean, what's the deal? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready for today? Are we ready? Are we excited for today? Well, I am excited, is what I can tell you. So, today's topic is all about motivation and why your deeper purpose and how this is important in trading. Um, is audio quality, by the way, good? I bet it's good. Otherwise, let me know. So, just quickly, some ground rules as always. This is your safe space, meaning please feel free by all means to share all of your experiences. So, just to wrap it up, this is your safe space. Make sure you share your experiences. Be proactive. That's the way how you learn, and we'll learn from others. And I will also learn from you guys. It's the whole thing. We learn from each other. Just want to say and emphasize, you guys are special. I know at this moment not a lot of people are joined in. Doesn't matter. What matters the most is that you are gaining some value from this. Being present is one thing. It's 50% of success. The remaining part is by playing full out, by taking action, by thinking about this, and to change things. Without change, nothing will happen. That's the whole idea of change. And I'm here to help you to change. Okay, guys, motivation. We all need motivation to pursue our goals. Without motivation, we basically do nothing. So motivation in essence is the desire to act in service of an outcome. So you have an outcome and you want to pursue that outcome. So at some point, sometimes the pain of not doing becomes greater than the pain of doing it. That's possible. Motivation can come from from yourself because you really want something, or from external things, because let's say you're running away because a dog is chasing you, or you're doing something because you've been instructed to do so. So patience can come from internal, as from external. So one thing you need to understand, and I often talk about this with my one-on-one coaches, is this. Everything we do, we are motivated. When we are motivated, it's one or away from pain, or it's towards pleasure. It's one of the two. So when I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym because I want to feel vital. I want to be energized. I want to feel energized. That's a towards pleasure motivation. There's some people, they're going to the gym because they hate to be fat, or they hate to be not vital. They hate their current situation, and that's why they are motivated to go to the gym. So most likely both of them, they can achieve both of their goals, but the motivation, the intention is different. Not gonna lie, it's not always that towards pleasure is always better than away from pain, but think about it. If you're trading because you hate your job, or you hate your circumstances, or your financial circumstances, and that's your primary reason why you're trading, your primary motivation, then you need to realize that whenever you open a chart, whenever you think about trading, or whenever you open a trade, whenever you check your portfolio, You remind yourself consciously or subconsciously that you're not happy, that you are running away from pain. In my opinion, this is not a really sustainable form of motivation, because it enforces you, it helps you, it promotes, it does basically everything to consistently remind you about a situation you don't desire, you don't like. It's good to change things you don't like, but we often say, where you put your focus. No, sorry, I need to say it again. Your where your focus goes, your energy flows. So basically, people, they remind themselves about a bad situation, and they remind themselves about the negativities. My opinion, especially when it comes to long-term goals, it's good to have a towards pleasure motivation. It could be hybrid, by the way. It could be both. But please, when it comes to trading, let it be that the towards pleasure motivation is stronger than away from pain motivation. I hope this makes sense. And this is, by the way, the first key takeaway I want to give you guys. If you have a motivation, think about it. Why are you doing this? For example, trading. Do you hate your job? Is this the primary motivation? Or is it, for example, you want to buy the beautiful car because that's for you an expression of freedom? I mean, basically, you can have both goals, but different motivations. I see some questions about trading related questions. You know what? For example, this, yeah, about entertainment. So I would say you've achieved your goals this morning. That's good. Congrats. So you have sold some of your portfolio. I think it never hurts to take some profit, especially now because we are now at this is Bitcoin, for example, is at resistance. Taking profit at resistance is good behavior. There's nothing wrong with it. You have secured already 1/3 of your of your profit. That's a good thing. So I think you're pretty safe. Me, for example, I don't think the bull market is over. Fact is, I've never believed that we were in a bear market. The primary trend is up. So we're still in an uptrend, primary uptrend. And I think you did a good thing by taking profit. So why are we actually talking about why? Well, it's this. When someone wants to achieve something, they often think in terms of, okay, how am I going to do this? Or what is it what I want to do? But they don't focus that much on the why. Jim Rohn, one of the teachers of Tony Robbins, by the way, I love his quotes, and there's a lot of content about it, a lot of videos you can find on YouTube. He's one of my inspirators, by the way, Jim Rohn. He said the stronger the why, the easier the how becomes. Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Trading is damn difficult. Trading is difficult, period. Trading in investing is difficult. Well, why, you may be asked? Well, it's because trading goes actually against your own psychology and your own biology. What I mean with that is that our beautiful brain is not really, programmed to trade and to process so much information, emotions. You will, as a trader and investor, will suffer a lot of pain. Even if you're in profit, you will suffer pain. If you're losing money, you will suffer pain. Checking your charts will cause you pain. You will somehow lose money in a trade or a series of trades. This will cause a lot of pain. If if your why is strong enough, you will eventually overcome the pain and all the struggles that comes with trading. However, if you have a really weak why, maybe gonna shock you, but if your only goal is money, well, bad news for you. This is not a really strong why, and then you are not that much able to overcome all these struggles. If you want to preserve through all adversity and pain and discomfort that comes with trading, then you need to have a strong why. Just period. You need to have a strong why. If not, well, not gonna say that you will fail, but it's one of the reasons why so many traders fail, because they don't have a strong why. I mean, think about it. We often talk about loss aversion. So if I'm in a trade and I win a trade and I made, let's say, 500 euros or dollars, I'm happy, right? But imagine if I'm in a trade and I lose $500. Well, that feeling is up to 3 times stronger than the pleasure of winning $500. We experience pain way stronger than we experience pleasure. Let's say this is a fact, right? This has been studied by a lot of psychologists and neuroscientists. We just know that we are this is negativity bias. We are more we experience these negative events way stronger than positive events for a lot of reasons. Make sure your why is incredible strong. So I'm just checking the chats from time to time. So why do we do what we do? So let's distinguish intrinsic and extrinsic. So intrinsic, it's, basically comes from yourself, right? It's and extrinsic it comes from the outside. For example, a promotion, and intrinsic is, for example, expression of your own thoughts and ideas. So I don't say that intrinsic is better than extrinsic, but what I do know that if your motivation comes really from you, from inside, not from outside, then we can call this then we don't only call this motivation, but then it becomes inspiration. It comes from inside. So make sure you also have motivational factors that comes from inside. Yeah, so that's the thing. What Bundy here is saying is he can relate to that feeling. Losing comes with a lot of suffer, and it's not linear with pleasure. And even if you're in a winning trade and you just sell and it goes up, and even if you made some nice money, let's say 1K or 2K or 3K or 4K or 50 euros, or I don't mind how much you have gained. If you close your trade and you look back to the chart, you see that things continuing going up, then this will also cause a lot of pain. So it basically doesn't matter if you win or lose money, you will suffer pain. That's why, as I said, and as I emphasized many times already, and I'm going to continue because I do believe that repetition is the mother of all skill, your why needs to be incredible strong. Because if we just continue with the same action, with the same thoughts, with the same plan, you will not reach your next goal. So you need to think a little bit differently from the crowd. Because we know that 90%, or let's say 80%, it depends on the studies, it depends on the exchange, the markets, but a lot of people, 80 up to 90%, they do lose money. So if you don't want to lose money, then you need to do a little bit, then you need to do things differently from the crowd. Then you really need to stand out. And you stand out by working in your why. So there are a few questions you need to ask yourself as a trader. So first is your premise, about yourself. So premise is a foundational belief you hold about the market and trading. I'm not gonna extend this live stream a lot, but A premise is, for example, I'm going to give you a positive one and a negative one. A positive one is, for example, the market gives and I receive, for example, or the market is full with opportunities. This is a really good belief, by the way. If you see that things go up and you missed out, and or you have this urge of FOMO into a trade, but then you remind yourself of your strong belief that the market is full with opportunities, then this can empower your trading journey and your trading performance, right? However, if your premise is, for example, the market is manipulated by a lot of wills, I'm a bad risk manager, the bots are trading against me, that's why I always fail. These are beliefs you hold about trading, about yourself, that will not help you. I mean, these beliefs, they will shape your world, they will shape your life. And if you can choose belief, then choose beliefs that can help you. And of course, a belief doesn't change that quickly. A belief always starts with a thought, and that thought gets repeated in the mind, and then it becomes a belief. But to change a belief, you need to overwrite it with another belief. So think about it, all of you guys, everyone who's listening now, live or later, um, when you're watching the recording, is what is it what you believe about yourself as a trader, and what is what you believe about the market? Think about it and write that down. I mean, if you don't do this, then you'll operate maybe from a self-image that's not really that good. I mean, if you do this, it will give you a lot of clarity about your own personality and also how you view the world. And if you're really smart, then you're going to drop and you're going to share these beliefs you hold in the Trading Psychology channel, or in the main chat in the Nest Club. So, as I said, what I'm often hear from traders is, well, I suck in trading because I'm a bad risk manager, or I suck in trading because, well, I'm not that good in taking profit, which is, by the way, one of the most difficult thing to do in trading, taking profit. Or, well, the market is always against me, or the market makers, or the wheels, or however you want to call it, they are manipulating us. If you hold any of these beliefs, then you have some self-limiting or destructive beliefs. You need to change these beliefs. Really, if you don't change these beliefs, they will work against you. For example, if you're telling yourself, I'm a bad risk manager, so what your mind actually does is it will do its best to protect your self-image. That's actually what the subconscious mind does. It's doing its best to protect its self-image. If you're telling yourself, I'm a bad risk manager, I'm not good in taking profit, what happens is you're identifying you with these two characteristics in your subconscious mind, then tells the rest of the body, well, I'm a bad risk manager and I'm not really good in taking profit. What happens then is you're going to manifest this. It's easy as that. You basically manifest your own beliefs. You need to change that by having different or stronger beliefs. Does this make sense? So a good belief is, market gives and I need to take. I'm patient, market rewards patient people. I'm disciplined, or I love risk management. These premises, these beliefs, they will help you. If you don't love risk management, make sure you just force yourself to love risk management. If you think that your discipline level is not that high, well, work on it. I did a lot of we produced a lot of content about discipline, how to level up your discipline. If you think that you're not that patient, well, believe me, I did a lot of live streams about discipline. You can find them They might or might not help you, but it's worthwhile to check them. All these things, you can work on them, but it's you who needs to pull the trigger and to need to go, full out. Does this make sense, ladies and gentlemen? But that's motivation, and that's how you stay strong in the game. And there are a lot of things that can kill your motivation. It's losses, or not happy and satisfied with your wins, or ranging market. By the way, I mean, how many people have been capitulated in the last 8-9 weeks when Bitcoin was ranging? I mean, they basically literally sold the bottom because there was no motivation, and their why was not stronger than the how. Another thing that can kill your motivation, I have two of these. We call them kids, little kids. If you have a lot of kids around yourself, if you have kids, then just like make sure you don't trade when the kids are around your family. There are a lot of biases that can kill your motivation. But guys, if your why is strong enough and you really, really want it, then you will overcome all these struggles. So another thing I want to say is, look, your why, and I already said it, shouldn't be only the money. Your why really should come from inside, and it should be actually, your why should be derived from your core values. What you think it's important in your life. Money in itself, it's not an emotion, it's just a resource. The mind, the subconscious mind, really understands emotions. It doesn't really understand money. I do admit that when you chase money, money is emotionful. Once you have, pursued all the money you wanted, through trading or other efforts, then it's will become emotionless. However, core values are always core values, and they are important for you. My core value, why I'm trading, there are a few. For example, expression of freedom, want to be less dependent, servitude. I think my goal, my aim, my purpose here in life is to serve people. Servitude, helping charities, helping others, giving kindness to people. That's my motivation. What I just shared, it comes from me, from inside. These are core values. Your why should be derived from your core values. So, are there any questions? I think this is enough for today. If there are any questions, or you want me to chart something, or talk about a different topic, please do let me know. And by the way, when it comes to trading, we will fail, as in we will make mistakes. Just want to remind you about this quote from Edison. He said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 things that do not work." So reframe your failures. I mean, they are lessons. They're actually not really failures. I often tell people, I never lose, or I win money, or I will learn something from it. So guys, any questions, some chart requests, something you want to ask me? If not, let's wrap this up. Thank you very much for being here with me. You guys are truly special. I do see one question from Julian. Yeah, Julian, I think this is a good question. I mean, what you basically are saying is, if you don't know what to do, then it can be, it can cause a lot of frustrations, right? Let me pull a chart. Let me pull a chart. Wait, gonna remove this. Stop screen. Gonna share a different screen. Is if you don't know what to do, then make sure that you have at least a plan. And doing nothing is also actually a form of action. Um, wait, Windows. I'm just gonna share this entire screen with you guys. Sorry for sounding so nasally, but my nose is, I mean, I don't know what's happening, but it's full with, it's so stiff. Wait. So if you, for example, look to Bitcoin, I mean, we are at major resistance level. Not going to do a really advanced TA, but what you're seeing here, just give me the 1-day chart, is we are at this resistance level. So if you have any Bitcoin both from range low, then this is the moment to take profit. It's easy as that, even if it is going up. I mean, Bitcoin is beautifully trading above 200 MA. This is just a strong resistance area, as you can see. So what you could do is, like, if you're really long-term bullish on Bitcoin, it's not really wrong with buying, in my opinion. But if this is the reality, how Bitcoin looks, so you could do, wait for a breakout, retest. That's a possibility. Or wait for we do share calls and signals in the Discord. You can play them. However, then you need to practice good risk management, because that's the thing we cannot do for you. We can only encourage and teach people trading principles, risk management principles. Oh, I'm so funny, right? I'm just talking without you guys. Yeah, it could be. So sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm not that sharp today. I'm not gonna lie. Kids were keeping me awake last night. So this is Bitcoin. Needless to say, this is core resistance. We are at resistance trading. Bitcoin is trading above the 200 MA. We broke from this range, even touched the yearly low. It went up. Beautiful price action. Primary trend, by the way, it's still up. We have never been in a bear market, in my opinion. Not from a macro primary trend, at least. So yeah, so if you're in Bitcoin and you've been in Bitcoin from this level or even from this level, yeah, why not taking profit? I'm also taking profit from some trades I took while I was here. There's nothing wrong with taking profit, right? So what you could do is, like, this is resistance. One of the key principles is you don't want to you don't want to buy really at resistance because of the risk, right? Because this is a supplier, and this is an area where people like to sell. So in my opinion, if you're really long-term believer in Bitcoin or another asset and it's at resistance, well, maybe you can add, or you can wait for the breakout. That's the breakout retest. It's maybe the most safest way. But the thing is, if you don't know what to do, find out what you you need to have a game plan. At least you need to have, like, levels where you want to buy. For example, if you currently don't know what you want to do, then you can think in scenarios like, if Bitcoin drops, and it's a likely scenario, to be honest, we can lose the 200 MA, and it can easily drop down, let's say, in this box. Sorry guys, my MacBook is not that quick. Somewhere like here, so it goes back to the upper boundary of this range. This is a nice entry to buy. So I want you to think like this. And if Bitcoin really breaks out from here, it's also possible. It's also a really likely scenario. Then you preferably want to wait for a retest and then buy. So this is how I would approach it. Like, think in different scenarios and think where you want to buy and where you want to sell. If you're really in doubt, but you still want to trade, just do that, but then lower your risk per trade. Sometimes I'm also in doubt. I recently opened a trade. I think it was Link. I was not really sure because also of Bitcoin. What I did was I just did 0.5% risk per trade. And I took the trade and it was in profit. And I'm still in the game by reducing my position size. This is what I would suggest. Reduce your position size. Does this help? So one of the worst combinations I've seen in myself is being new and having something like crypto tweeted, throwing all sorts of directions at you at the same time. Very hard. Yeah, that it is very hard, and everyone has his own directional bias. So I often say less is more. If you follow people, follow 3, 4, 5 people, and not more than that. It doesn't make sense to follow a lot of people because everyone has his own perspective on the market, and everyone has his own edge and his own system. Some people, they trade the 1 hour chart, and then here they get really bearish, for example. Some people, they buy, they trade the, I don't know, the weekly, and then they think, hey, wow, there's a lot of strength in the market. I'm getting bullish. So make sure that you also understand your high time, the time frame you want to trade, and how much time you want to dedicate, and follow the people who are also basically have this, who are trading the same time frame as you do. So don't follow people who are trading the 1 minute chart if you don't have the time to trade the 1 minute chart. I would say it all boils down to this. Follow a few people, make sure that you know what you want. Because if I'm following, this is also, by the way, one of the reasons why I unmute or blocking perma bulls or bears. I don't want them to interfere with my decision-making process. So if someone is always bullish or always, I don't know, bearish on Ethereum and its ecosystem or Solana, it doesn't matter, or Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin, I mean, I don't have time for that. I just, then I just unfollow because I cannot, it doesn't benefit me, right? So make sure you follow people that benefit you, and make sure you follow just a few. Otherwise, it's too overwhelming. Even for me, it's so overwhelming. Let's do this. I sold at 47K of the scenario that we can see a pullback. Sadly, after that, Bitcoin and alts pumped even more. So I'm confused at the moment what to do. Nice stream. Yeah, that's what I sold. I mean, if you sold at 47K, if you're in profit, be happy. I do believe in the top-down mechanism. So, selling too early or losing money or missing out of a continuous pump, it can, it's a form of suffering, it's pain, but no, it's your brain saying so. It's not really logical, right? Especially if you're in profit and be happy with that. I think we still can have a pullback to the 42K. If you do believe that, then accept, then go for that plan, set your buy orders, but also understand when your thesis is not valid anymore, and be patient. That's the thing. You need to be patient with your own plan, and don't throw your plan away just because it takes so long, or because we are at resistance around 50K. So guys, thank you very much. Hope to see you next week. If there is any topic you want me to cover in regard to trading psychology, NLP, or mindset, please let me know. DMs are always open. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye for now.